The word cinematic is ruining cinema. Cinematic is an adjective that can be attached to any word relating to cinema or to anything that has film-like visual qualities. And it seems to be every film bro's new favorite word. Everybody on YouTube or TikTok is constantly talking about how to make cinematic videos, cinematic editing, cinematic sound, etc. To the point where everything looks like a film, but nothing feels like a film. Everything is now so shallow and focused on the visuals and forgets the actual essence of cinema, the story. Now, the concept of story is complicated because it could be argued that everything is a story. So let's make it clear. This is not a story. This, however, is a story. From my long years of studying film and storytelling, I have come to the conclusion that a story, in its simplest form, is a situation that changes twice, at least. In the story of the egg first gets pushed and then falls. Those are the two main changes. According to Todorov's narrative theory, those two steps of the stories are called the disruption and the resolution. The disruption refers to the first change of the situation of the story, the one that will lead the hero to go on his epic adventures. The resolution is the final change before the final state of the world, whether the world is going back to normal or reaching a completely new equilibrium. In my opinion, these two parts of Todorov's narrative theory are the most important. Not necessarily because they are the most interesting or the most fun to watch, but because if done properly, the disruption and the resolution will naturally lead to the formation of the other steps of the story. Todorov's narrative structure consists of the equilibrium, the disruption, the recognition, the resolution, and the new equilibrium. Going back to our egg, the equilibrium is just the egg minding its own business, living its life before getting pushed. This part of the story is also often called the day in the life, because it's where you get to know the character and the world of the story. The disruption is of course the egg getting pushed. The recognition is the egg understanding its fate.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
The resolution is the egg falling. The new equilibrium is the broken egg. The equilibrium is a very important part of the story because that's where you get to know the character. You learn what they have, so when the disruption happens, you understand what they lose or what they gain. A disruption cannot be well made if the equilibrium is poorly written. Since it's during this part that the audience gets to know the main character, make sure to show their face. Way too often do I see films where we barely even know the protagonist because we've never truly been shown their face. And most importantly, you should show their eyes, because eyes are the window to the soul. It's through the eyes that we connect to other people. Those are the main parts of a story, but of course you can choose to go deeper. During the equilibrium, for example, you can introduce a save the cat scene, which is when your main character does something admirable to make the audience want to follow their story. Often, the save the cat scene can be the same as the disruption or the recognition. Finally, the new equilibrium shows the world of the story after the resolution, whether it is back to normal or a completely new world. The only real rule you have to follow when making the new equilibrium is to make sure that your initial problem or theme is resolved. And many people think that a cliffhanger ending is when the story is open-ended and another movie, a sequel, could be made. That's not really the case. Let's take Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse as an example. The end is not a cliffhanger. Because yes, a sequel can be made and will be made, but the main themes and conflicts of the film are resolved by the end of it. Those themes and conflicts being Gwen's identity and troubles with choosing who she is and who she will follow. And all these questions, all these themes are resolved by the end of the movie. So make sure during the new equilibrium and the resolution that you do answer the main questions that your movie set up during the equilibrium and disruption. What I'm trying to get to through all of this is that making a movie is not simply filming pretty shots. It's about the story and how you tell it. And film is such a complex media where you can tell stories in an infinite amounts of ways. And of course, there are rules you can follow that often will make your film better. But the truth is, as long as you understand film language and all the techniques you can use, just go wild. The only crime you can commit when making a film is making a boring, shallow shot. Everything should have meaning. If, in my opinion, something cinematic is something that has meaning. Alright, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. And I'll see you soon.